and welcome to YRocket. I'm Nikki, and today I'm going to make a simple quick meal for you moms out there who have to run and get dinner on the table while you're doing homework, just walked in the door from work, and all these other things. So today I'm going to show you how to make mini personal pizzas. You can have different toppings and all sorts of stuff. So to begin with, I have some onions here, diced and chopped up really finely. I'm just going to turn my heat on my stove in a small pan to get those sauteed. I'll go ahead and add, I'm going to let the oil warm up a little bit while that's getting in there. And I'm going to take a clove of garlic and I'm going to put it in my garlic press. Sometimes I chop it, but let's really be honest, I get garlic hands. It doesn't matter if I wash my hands immediately or let it sit for 6 hours. My hands will smell like garlic for weeks. Not really weeks, but days at least. So while I'm letting my oil heat up for my garlic, I'm going to take a can of tomato sauce. It can be any brand that you like. This is just my favorite. So I've already gone ahead and gotten the lid off the tomato sauce. I'm going to go ahead and dump that in a small pan and let that heat up. So that while that's heating up and the oil's heating up, I can use that sauce to go. The sauce will be warm when I add the onions and garlic to it so that we can already get those flavors going together. Let me check on my oil and see if my onions are ready to add. I'm just going to drop one in. Not quite, it didn't sizzle or anything. So we're going to go back over here to the garlic sauce. The tomato sauce, just plain tomato sauce. You could do this if you had a jar of pasta sauce in your pantry, but I didn't have any but a vodka sauce, and vodka sauce on a mini pizza isn't so great. So I like a lot of flavor in mine. So I'm first putting some basil. I would usually use Italian seasoning, but I noticed I'm all out. So then I'm going to put a little sage. My husband's not a huge fan, so I have to go pretty light on this, but I kind of like the fresh taste that it adds. Then garlic salt. I'm going heavy on the garlic salt also. Yes, I'm going to put garlic in a minute, but what isn't better with garlic salt on it? Let's be honest. So I'm going to give it a quick stir. So besides makeup and house projects, I love to cook too. And so this is a quick way to make sure my kids are eating at home and not eating a bad, greasy meal from somewhere out. And it looks like my oil is now warm enough for me to put these onions on. Pretty much. Onions are in. Give them a little bit longer to cook than the garlic because you don't want your garlic to burn. Get that oil all around them. Don't judge me that my pizza stone looks like this. I've only had it for about 7 years. I'm going to add a little oil to it. Love the smell of cooking onions. Oh my gosh. So here's the oil on my pizza stone. I use canola. I think that I've read that it's better for you. Can't guarantee that because all I am is a mom who likes to cook. I'm no dietitian. So I'm taking a can of biscuits. I always buy the flaky layers because when I do eat them just as biscuits, I like to peel the layers apart. Give it one good smack on the counter. Take these biscuits, smush them. That's my trick to keep the layers. So I kind of smush them, pull them apart a little. If only y'all could smell my onions. Turn those down. Stir. And stir my tomatoes. Stir in my onions. Turning my onions down some more. And I'm going to add I like to add a little of the basil in here to cook with the onions. And then I'm going to take my garlic press and press my garlic into my onions also. And now the aromas will really start to cook. Instead of television, or it's not really television, but too bad you don't have smell-o-vision. Okay, so I'm going to stir those onions and get that garlic in. It's okay because I turned it down. I'll still smell for it. Make sure the garlic doesn't get over. I'm going to put a lid on my tomato sauce. We have a lurker. He's trying to get in this video.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to stay out of this video.
Okay, so now I'm going to take my onions and my garlic and I'm just going to add them to my sauce that I'm going to use as my pizza tomato sauce.
Mini pizzas.
The mini pizza tomato sauce. I'm going to grab a little bit more olive oil. I use the extra virgin olive oil. Don't we all love Rachel Ray and her invention of EVOO? I'm going to grab some honey ham from the grocery store. Just lunch meat, because usually we always have lunch meat if we're moms that we have to make those kids lunches. So I grab some lunch meat, open it up, put it in the can, clean my cutting board.
Don't put it into the pizza.
I'm not going to put it in the pizza.
On the pizza.
I have a cheese pizza lover standing by, and so he doesn't want any ham on his pizza.
Well, sometimes.
But he eats ham sandwiches every day for lunch. So go figure that.
I don't really like those ham sandwiches. I like the peanut butter ones.
So now I'm just going to cut my ham lengthways and then come back by and run it this way, perpendicular to the way I did it just a moment ago. See our guitar? No, sir. He can't decide if he wants to be a superhero, a baseball player, a scientist, or a Star Wars guy.
You be quiet. I'm the Star Wars guy. What do you think? I'm using my guitar as my gun. And a baseball helmet for my helmet.
Come and introduce yourself.
Oh, no.
This is Cannon. Okay, run along. No more. So I put my ham in, which is going to be my meat for my pizza, and I'm just sauteing the ham like in the same pan as I did the onions because I want some of that lunch meat ham to grab some of the flavors from the garlic, the onion, and the basil so that it tastes like a little bit more than just lunch meat ham. My pasta sauce is boiling back here. I will combine the pasta sauce and the ham because this pasta sauce is going to make way too much for these little mini pizzas, and I can save that. And for my noodle and meatball lover, I can make him noodles one night with this extra pasta sauce. So I'm now going to take my little mini pizza doughs that I made out of biscuits, grab my pasta sauce that I made, put my lid in the sink, make sure my stove is turned off, and then I'm going to take this, give it one last good stir, get those onions off the bottom so that you make sure to get them in your little pizzas. And then I'm just going to take a spoon. I have a tablespoon, not a teaspoon. Take a tablespoon of sauce, put it in the middle. You could do more if you like lots of sauce on your pizza. I don't like lots of sauce. My husband's from Wisconsin, so I do have to make sure to put a lot of cheese. And I'm sure I didn't say that right, but I am. I did grow up in Texas, so it's Wisconsin to me. As I get these sauces on, I'm trying to think, okay, there's 8 biscuits, 5 people, the teenager's gone, so I don't have to worry about feeding him. He'll find leftovers when he gets home. So, that's 2 pizzas per person for the 4 of us. There's a chance that my husband may or may not be hungry because he worked outside of the office today, outside the house today, had meetings outside the house. So, he may only eat 1. Not likely, but mine. So you can see all this sauce that I have left here. I don't know if you can see all the sauce that I have left here as I pour it out almost. But so I have sauce left here that I can use on something else in the future. Now I'm coming back to my ham. It's not fried or anything like that. Pretty much just warmed up and put in yummy with that onion flavor. I'm going to take another tablespoon of ham and put it on all but 2 of my, I say 2, I may do 4 because the youngest sometimes doesn't want You never know. He sometimes has to do what his brother does, sometimes he doesn't. I'll see. 6 with ham, 2 without ham. We can divvy it up. Now I'm going to come and put my cheese on. So before I started talking to you, I did preheat my oven to 350 so that I can have it just popped in there. While I'm working, that gives the oven the opportunity to heat up so that it doesn't take as long to cook. So I'm putting some cheese on each mini pizza. And then I'll come back and kind of spread it out. This one needs some more. It's not going to fly in a house of Packer fans. Can't jip them on the cheese, you know. So here's my little secret is that these, because they are those biscuits and those biscuits are intended to rise, when you put them in the oven, you want to watch them like halfway through and make sure that you might need to like push them down a little bit with the cheese. You don't want to burn yourself or anything, but so here's my recipe for those mini pizzas, just so you see it, and I'll come back and show you what they look like. I just wanted to check back in with you and show you what I meant about pressing those little pizzas down. So you can see here they've risen a little bit, so I'm just going to take a fork before they get too tall and push them down a little bit. I may have waited a little too long. I got busy with the
kids. I'm guessing.
Busy with the dishes. So I'm just going to push these down. Looks like they have not too much more time. And I'll check back when they're done. So here they are, all yummy and ready for dinner. I'm just going to put them on the plate, get the boys at the table. Hope you enjoy.